Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm Steffi Fernandez from Nail Nails and today we'll be kickstarting our Disney series. Yes, we're doing a Disney series for you guys with the queen herself, Minnie Mouse. Let's get cracking. So again, guys, like always, the first three things that I do before starting a design is prepping my palette, getting a dampened dish with some alcohol, gel residue wipe-off solution, which is alcohol, and buff the surface of the nail that I'm going to work with. For today's design, we're going to be using a few colors. Some of them are not even released yet, but I thought I'd have a play around with them just before so you can see, guys, a bit of a teaser. We're going to start with Sugar Cookie. We've got these gorgeous browns here as well. And those are not released yet, but they will be really, really soon. So don't worry, guys. We've got Friar's Robe, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous chocolatey brown. And we've got a gorgeous color that's called Old Soul. And it's a very nice brown, kind of, I don't know, how would you, oh, that is just gorgeous, like hazelnutty, I think, which is a gorgeous color. We've also got Crimson Red, which is a nice, bright red. We've got the usuals, which is Sirius Black and Snow White. And we also got Top Coat to do some shading and, of course, seal the design in. So I'm going to go in first with a Sugar Cookie, and I'm going to paint the base layer. And I'm going to just do a nice thin coat of this all over the nail. Cure this for the full length of time. And then I'm going to start mapping out the design. You notice that I'm playing around with the product quite a bit because then I realize if I apply it evenly, I don't really need to go for two coats. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to give it a cure. So now that it's fully cured, you can see how nice and even that is already. And it's okay if it's not really fully opaque in the edges. Usually I get to do some background after I paint the character on, so it's not really visible. I'm going to go in with Old Soul, and I'm just going to load my brush, and I'm going to start mapping out our Minnie Mouse. So I'm going to go in, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little, it's a bit of a heart shape, but it's not, if it makes sense. So I'm going to start in with a little line on here, go in, and then now, that's what I mean, the heart shape. I'm going to go in and create that heart shape, the top of a heart shape anyway. And I'm going to drag it all the way down around here. I'm now going to go in and do the same thing again. So I'm going to see, it looks like another heart shape. So I'm going to do another curved line just from here. And I'm going to bring it down just here. And notice what I'm doing. So when I paint, sometimes I feel like the brush doesn't go all the way around and it feels like I'm going to mess it up. So it's okay to break the line up to two sections, so then you'll find it easier to paint. I'm now going to go in and just paint a line down from where we first started. Just here, all the way down. And then I'm going to go in and create the nose section where the nose is going to rest on. So I'm just going to drag it down slightly more. And now I'm going to create a section where the nose and the eyes rest on. And then I'm going to go in just at the bottom here and create a line all the way up to here, just like that. I'm now going to go in and create another semicircle just underneath so we can allow some space for the mouth. And I'm just going to try and round off that little section over here. It doesn't have to bring the line together because you're going to draw the nose on top anyway. And once I'm happy with how this looks, I'm going to go in and cue this for about 10 seconds. So we flash cued this baby, and now we're going to go ahead and add some more detail before we start filling in some color. So I'm going to go in and just mark that round top bit of Minnie Mouse. So I'm going to do a line here and join it all the way to the back. Just like this. And then I'm going to start mapping up only one of the ears because she's got the bow at the top of the head, and I want to just figure out once I've painted the bow where the other ear goes. So I don't want to just paint it just before because the bow is quite big, so you might not need it. I'm going to go in and paint a large semicircle just here. And then do the same on the other side. So that's one ear done. And I'm going to leave the other ear. And what I'm going to go and do now is just map out where the eyes go. And again, I'm going to break that line into two so it's easier to draw the eyes. So you can try that as well. I think it's a good hack for people to try at home. It's just breaking those lines so it's not as complicated. So I'm going to go in and again, just map out where the first eye starts, just at the top, and drag a line down. And do the same on the other side. And then again, I'm going to do the same on this side. But on this side, the eye is actually slightly larger. So again, I'm going to start from the top, drag it down. And again, from the top, and drag it down. And look how easy that was. I'm now going to go in and paint that nose at the end of this section that we drew earlier on. But notice that the nose is actually going to fall on the section where the nail that we are painting on is the most curved. So, you know, if we draw it the way it looks exactly on the picture, it might look a bit wonky from the front. So we have to make sure that we paint it, but we keep checking what the nose looks like from the front. So for example, here, the nose does look really big, but actually I need to make it slightly bigger for it to look right. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm happy with this now. And then again, I'm going to pop this into the lamp for a quick 10-second cure, and we can go from there. Right, we've got this bit cured. I'm going to go in with Serious Black, and I'm just going to load the brush up and start filling the upper section of Minnie Mouse's head. So I'm just going to go in with the color and fill in. So I've painted the upper section. I'm now filling in the nose, and I'm gonna cure this for about 15 seconds just so the product doesn't move. And then I'm gonna go in and start filling in the eyes. Right, getting this out of the lamp, and we're gonna go in with Snow White, and we're gonna go and fill those eyes in. Now this is also the opportunity for you guys to, reshape the eyes if you're unhappy with how you painted them earlier on. Make it a bit rounder, or because you could easily just outline it again. So I'm going to fill that in with Snow White. Maybe before I cure it, I'm going to add another line. So we fill both eyes in. Just going to clean the brush quickly. And I'm going to go into Old Soul again. I'm just going to add a little line here at the end for the smile. And I'm going to go in again and paint his mouth underneath, just here. If I have enough product on the brush, that is. Just like this. And back into the lamp. Right, so we've got it cured now. I'm going to go in with Cerise Black and add the detail inside the eye. So just going to be another little circle inside. Then I'm going to fill it in. And I'm going to add another one on the other eye. Again, because the other eye is smaller, of course, the black section inside the eye is going to be smaller as well. And that's only because the face is tilted to the side. So I've got these two here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix a color. I was going to take a pink one, but I forgot. But might as well start mixing. So I'm going to take the white and crimson red and mix them together quickly on my palette. So I've got this beautiful pink here that I just created. And I'm going to go in and fill that in as well. I'm going to cure this quickly. Okie dokie. So we've got this fully cured now. Well, not fully cured, but you know what I mean. I'm going to go in with crimson red, and I'm going to start marking out the bow on top of Minnie's head and the dress underneath the face. So I'm just going to go in with the red straight away. I'm not going to mark how that looks. We're going to add the detail later on. So we've got the bow here. It's just a blob of color, really. And again, I'm going to go in and just paint that bow all the way up and fill it in at the same time. And I'm going to do the other side of it. So just here. So 2 in 1 on this one. Mark out, mark up, and then fill it in. So we've done the bow, that's ready. We might have to go on top with a little bit more red here. And now I'm gonna go in with the dress. Actually, I feel like it needs to be slightly bigger. There we go. And with the dress, I'm just gonna paint the shape of the dress. I'm gonna just follow that outline of the mouth, shoulders, a little bit of a line to come down, and then we've got the belly and the dress. And literally all I'm gonna do now is fill that in with the red.
What's your favorite Disney character, Sophie?
I think it's Goofy. I just love the detail when you paint him, and I've seen him in Disney World in Paris, and he was really nice to me, so definitely. Minnie was taken by my little sister. She couldn't leave her alone. I still have the video today. She gave us such a massive hug. She was only 4, and it was a dream to see Minnie Mouse, and we took her to Disneyland in Paris, and she just cried when Minnie came out, and I was like, oh, that was so cute. So I've done the dress, I've done the bow, and another thing I wanted to do before, oh yes, I remember, before I cure this, I'm just going to go into Serious Black again and just do the corners of the mouth because they're a bit darker. The whole mouth is not pink. So just the corner here, and then the other side a little bit as well. And again, I'm gonna cure this for about 15 seconds as well. Okay, so we've cured the red, and I'm just gonna go in with a dotting tool and dip that into that Snow White that we used earlier, and just create a lot of dots on Minnie's bow and dress. That's super easy. So we've done this, and now the dress. And I'm gonna pop this back into the lamp. Right. Dots are in place, they're not gonna move. We're gonna go in with the beautiful chocolatey brown that I showed you earlier. What was it called? Friar's Robe. And I'm gonna take that and just mix it in with a little bit of our Urban Graffiti top coat, just to create that translucent, kind of transparent, dark brown that I want. I'm going to take that concoctions that I've created here, and I'm just going to start shading Minnie Mouse face. So I'm going to go in and just, again, draw a nice thick line just here. Looks a bit messy, but don't worry, guys. We'll fix it in a second. So I'm going to draw a line here, a thick line here, a little bit of a line in between the eyes, and I'm gonna do a small line here and another one just here. And now I'm gonna go in with my 3D brush and then start blending that in. So I'm just going to pull it slightly in, just like this. See, already looks loads better. And I'm going to do the same with all the other lines that I painted on. Just give it a bit of a, just blur it a little bit so it doesn't really look harsh. And just before you cure it, make sure that it looks natural. And I forgot to do another thing. I'm going to add another line because actually this section is all dark. I'm actually not even going to blend it. I'm just going to fill it in because the bottom of the mouth is darker. Fill it in with that translucent color we just made. And I'm just going to check if I want any other sections to go slightly darker. I might want this to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit more color. And again, blend, blend, blend. And I'm going to pop this. Well, actually, I'm not going to pop this back into the lamp. I'm going to start just outlining the bow and the dress, because we can just cure it at the same time. So again, I'm just going to do this bit here. This is easy because we already painted the bow and we already filled it in. So I'm just going to literally paint some lines around it and a line here. And now for the dress bit. So we've got, just gonna follow the dress, the belly bit here, curved little line, the shoulder at the top, and before we cure it, I'm gonna add that little arm. So it's just like a little triangle. 1, 2, and it's done. And then you fill it in. And then we're going to cure that and carry on. Right, guys, I decided to add a background for this before we do a little bit more shading. So this is another little teaser. Ooh. Another little teaser. We've got Tranquil Seas, which is a gorgeous blue, which I think will be really, really nice on the background of Minnie. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to take a blob on. Oh, wow. Let me just show you guys what this looks like. This is absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to do more looks with this color, actually. So I'm going to go in with my detailing brush, pick up some color, and just literally paint the background. Just fill it in. Because if we leave it the same color as Minnie's face, it won't pop out as much. And I feel like, you know, we need to do Minnie justice.
Justice for Minnie.
Justice for Minnie. Best thing to do when you do the background is outline the face or whatever you drew on first, so that bit is neat, just like this, and then go crazy and start painting everything else. I know some of you are wondering why I haven't done the eyelashes yet. It's because they will go on top of the background, and there's no point doing the eyelashes, then painting the background, and then doing the eyelashes again. Because the eyelashes are going to be quite thin, it's going to be tricky to paint the background around the eyelashes. So I'm leaving it last. So we've got the background on here. Now again, we can cure this, but you know, we might as well do a little bit more before we pop this into the lamp. So again, we've got the clear, the top coat. I'm going to mix in a little bit of white on top of that, just to create a translucent white. And I'm going to do a little bit of shading on the nose. Well, not shading, guys. Highlighting. A little bit of highlight. Just there. I'm going to go in with my 3D brush and blend, 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 blend. And I'm going to do the same thing on the head and the ear. So the ear, I'm just going to go around with a white translucent shade. And then just here as well. And again, going with my 3D brush and blend, blend, blend. Always try and soften the line. Looks much better when you soften the line. So I've got this done. I'm gonna go and give this a cure. And then we're gonna add some little bit more detail and we're done. We're nearly done. Right, it's now cured. I'm gonna go and add just a tiny ear here at the back. So I'm just gonna add a little black line on top because I feel like the ear should come through. Just there. And I'm gonna fill that in with Cerise Black. So we've got that other ear coming through. That's what I meant at the beginning. It's like you need to see where the bow goes so you can decide where the ear goes. And now I'm going to go in again with Cerise Black and I'm going to add those lashes in for Minnie. So I'm going to go in and just flick some lines up, 3 lashes on each side. A little bit too long on this one, but that's fine. We can take some of that product off. And then 1, 2, 3. And we've got the lashes. Now I'm just gonna make the top lash slightly shorter. And then I'm gonna cure this fully, because then we can add the top coat. I'm also gonna do another thing that I forgot to do. Sorry guys. I'm gonna dip into that Cerise Black. And I'm gonna do that line in the middle of the tongue that they have. Usually the Disney characters always have that little line here, which I forgot to add. There we go. Now our Minnie is complete. All it took is that little line. So I'm gonna, not flash cure, I'm gonna cure this fully. And then we're gonna go in with the top coat and we're done, guys. Right, so our Minnie is fully cured, looking good. And all we need to do now is seal the design in using our gorgeous Urban Graffiti top coat. I'm going to apply a nice layer on top, seal the design in. I love putting a nice thick layer on top, especially when you do it on an artificial nail. If it was on a natural nail, I'll probably do a thin layer. But what you need to do for it not to be bumpy, if you put quite a bit of product on, just turn the nail over just like this and let gravity do its thing. And then the top coat will come down. And just before you know it, just put it into the lamp and you'll have a nice even coat with no bumps. And there you have it, guys. We've got Minnie Mouse on a nail. Really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I loved painting it for you. Super excited about this Disney series. If there's any character that you want to see, pop a comment below and I'll create a tutorial for that as well. As usual, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care. Ooh. I just walked into the light. Sorry.